How many times as a birder have you been sent sounds by somebody asking, what bird is this calling? And you have to answer, it's not a bird. In fact, it could be a frog, it could be a mammal, it could be any one of a number of really odd sounds. I've seen a number of top 5 sounds you think are birds but aren't videos. So I thought I'd put something together for Southern Africa. As I was putting it together and listening to all the various sound sources, frogs, mammals, all those sorts of things, I realized there are actually a lot of sounds that sound like birds but aren't. And I ended up with a list of 15. So here we go. Here are my 15 sounds that you think are birds but aren't. And the first one, at number 1 in our list, is foam nest frog. I think you'll agree that sounds a hell of a lot like this. Yes, the African darter. At number 2 in our list is bearded sand frog. And that can easily be confused, particularly by beginner birders, for a striped crake. At number 3 in our list, Natal sand frog. And to beginners, without the fine-tuned ear of pitch, tone, inflection, phrasing, and all of that sort of thing, could easily be confused for blacksmith lapwing. At number 4, we have plain stream frog. Although that doesn't sound like a specific bird, I think you'll agree many birders could hear that in a wetland and confuse that for an odd sort of crake. Next up at number 5, and that could easily be confused for a firefinch. At number 6 in our list, yet another frog that's trying to sound like a crake, and that's Van Dyke's river frog. Moving on to number 7 is something that's caught me out before, and that is Natal leaf folding frog. And I think you'll agree that sounds quite a lot like a brown-backed honeybird. Just past the halfway mark of our list, we move on to number 8 with Power's rain frog. And I think you'll agree that could be confused for orange-breasted bushshrike, maybe even olive bushshrike. At number 9, we have desert rain frog. And although it is a more arid area frog, it can easily be confused for the sound of a flufftail. Compare that to buff-spotted flufftail. At number 10, northern forest rain frog. Doesn't sound like a specific bird, but something that easily could be confused for being a bird kind of sound. Number 11 is a night sound of a mammal that gets sent to me, often asking, what is this? Easily could be construed as some odd sort of owl. It is in fact rock hyrax or rock dussie. At number 12 is another nighttime mammal, and its sound, although again not sounding like a specific bird, can often raise a question from a novice to nature sounds, and that is bat-eared fox. Number 13 is yet another mammal that often raises a question of what bird is this? And that is a fruit bat. At number 14, we have something that could be mistaken for one of the kingfishers. Here's brown-hooded kingfisher, for example. And the mammal that could be confused for this is in fact a tree squirrel. And last on our list is a sound that I don't even have to play you the alternative sound. This sound often gets confused vice versa in both ways. Either the bird thinking it's not a bird making the sound, or a small dog actually sounding like a freckled nightjar. Well, that's the end of our 15 sounds that you think are birds but aren't. Please like, subscribe, follow the channel, and if you have any other sounds that you think sound like birds but turned out not to be, I would love to hear them. Leave them in the comments, and we'll be back soon with more bird call videos.